All right, everyone, could this be it? Could the animal farm really be ready to launch on Tuesday, November 1st? So Forex is seeming pretty confident here. He just released an article that says the new launch date is November 1st. I thought the article was actually pretty interesting. I know that he's got a team now of a couple people that are gonna write articles every week on the updates on Animal Farm, what's going on with the ecosystem, which I think is going to be helpful. A lot of people read these Medium articles. I know that I think it's Team Cryptozoa. They write an article on Drip like every day or something. They've got, I think, hundreds and hundreds of articles out there in regard to Drip and the animal farm. And I think that's how those guys, I mean, the amount of people that are on their team, I don't know if you guys know, but they're responsible for like 20% of all the people in Drip funnel under Team Cryptozoa. So that's pretty impressive. And I think they did a lot of it through writing Medium articles. So they've already had a pretty good presence here, but I think, this of course will be nice because you're going to be getting the information directly, let's say, from Forex Shark. Now, I know he's probably not writing these articles. He's got a couple writers that do it, but they're taking guidance from him. So this one just explains that everyone, this is good, right? This is good. Forex is showing some understanding for the community that he realizes that he kind of botched up the launch, and he's trying to be a little more transparent about exactly what happened. So in here he says on the 18th, everybody was sitting there patient, ready to dump money into Animal Farm. They had some issues with some contracts. We weren't able to get it done. So at some point, Forex decided that he was going to delay the launch. Of course, we all know that if you guys have been watching the channel. And during that delay, he wanted to change the tokenomics. We've changed the way the Drip BUSD farm works over to dogs and that MasterChef contract, which in turn will help a few different things. It's kind of an anti-dump mechanic, and then also it helps Drip, which makes me super happy because I have a big position in Drip, and I know a lot of you guys do too. I think for the most part, most of you guys probably started in a Drip and are just kind of getting into the animal farm. Maybe you've got some pigs, maybe you're getting some Drip BUSD LP so you can put that in the farm. But whatever the case, most of you guys are probably in Drip, so a boost in the Drip price would help all of us. So that's exciting. The article just breaks a lot of stuff down, which I think is good. These articles are good, especially for a certain demographic who doesn't like to jump on and watch YouTube videos. And I know a lot of people that are in that camp, like my father doesn't really watch my videos. I'm sure he's watched a couple for sure, but like his age group, he's not really watching the YouTube videos to get caught up on the updates and everything. And I know there's a lot of folks at his age out there, even on my team and in my group, that do and that like the YouTube videos because they like this type of content. But there's a lot of folks that are kind of old school and they just want to read it. So this is super helpful for them. And if they follow him, they can sign up for the newsletter. I think you can see that here. Click this little green button, subscribe, and then anytime an article gets published, they get kicked in email. So that's helpful for them if that's the way they prefer to consume the content. So I think it's actually better for the people who don't want to watch the YouTube videos and haven't been following up on anything and have just been waiting for the animal farm to launch but aren't constantly digesting this information. It's actually better for those folks because they're going to hear about some sort of delay, but they're not going to get involved in all of the emotion. We're all involved emotionally because some of us have dogs locked up and the Drip price is going down. It's kind of getting hit from the lack of the animal farm being open because that's an additional utility and use case that needs to be available for us that's not. So some of us are emotionally tied to the delays, myself included, but I think there's a lot of people that are interested in investing in something like this, but they're not emotionally tied because they're not in it yet. So whenever it opens, it opens. And as long as they didn't see some marketing or get driven to the point where they were ready to invest on October 18th, then it might not be a huge deal for them. So I think that's beneficial. Again, the best marketing for this thing is as soon as we get the animal farm open, the charts for sure, I think, will start moving up into the right, and that chart is amazing promotion. People will start hearing about people being in the animal farm, what type of yields they're getting, how smoothly it's running, how qualified of a developer Forex is, and how he's got like the longest running daily ROI protocol in the game, and then people would get excited to invest. So I think the fact that these articles are up is good. I think it's one more step in the right direction to make us look more professional, like a more professional outfit. Again, this is a startup, and startup companies always look ugly in the beginning. And then finally they develop things, they build out teams, it gets better and better. So we're in that growing pain phase. And I think even if you asked Forex, at least I think, he would probably say he wishes he would have started building that team 6 months earlier. But hindsight's always 2020. Of course, you wish you started earlier. So hopefully he's getting the team issues sorted out. I know there have been a few of those. If he can get that done and get the team running like a well-oiled machine, I think that's one of the things going to make the biggest impact. But of course, as we've said a million times, the biggest thing they can do is get the animal farm up and running with no more delays. That way it gets people back in a positive mood, puts puts the ecosystem back in a positive sentiment, if you will. And then from there, everything I think is going to get easier. So getting this thing launched on Tuesday is the most important thing. If we can get that done with no delays, to be honest, for me, even if it gets open anytime next week, I'm actually happy. I know some people will come out and FUD and everything if we don't open on November 1st, but in my mind, I'm not even counting on it until the end of the week. That way, if for some reason it doesn't happen on Tuesday, it gets pushed to Wednesday, I'm not bugged by it. But I really do think it has to happen this next week. And it's not that if it doesn't and it pushes another couple weeks that it'll kill the farm or anything. I just think it'll kill so much momentum. It'll take us that much longer, months to gain that trust back and pull people back in the ecosystem. I think there's a lot of people selling right now that were formerly Forex advocates. They got a little turned off by what's been happening and now they've spun the other way. And some people say, let's wash out all the paper hands. But a lot of those people were good people and really believed in the protocol. They just see a lot of red flags, so they've kind of been bailing. I think most people also aren't used to the DeFi space. DeFi is one big red flag. The whole space is crazy. The returns are crazy, everything's risky, the protocols are wild, things are getting hacked all the time. So that's sort of the world we're playing in. So I think at some point it just gets past the people's comfort level. They get too many red flags built up and then they gotta bail. So that's gonna happen. I just don't wanna lose too many people who would have otherwise stayed in the ecosystem and been big advocates just because we're continuing to have delays. But Forex is feeling really good about this November 1st date. And maybe I'm a glutton for punishment, but the more confident he feels about it, the more confident I start to feel about it. So he did say today that he just got out of the audit meeting with all the auditors and we passed with flying colors. And within the next couple hours or something like that, maybe the next couple days, they're gonna publish the audit so everyone can see it. So that's a good step. One more push in the right direction for us. He did kick out a couple other updates. One of them he said, I think he's got to release or make some sort of announcement or something like that in the next hour or so. So hopefully that's a good announcement. I'll be pumped about that. Someone in the chat must have asked him about marketing and kind of what they're doing. His message was, let me just read it off. Yeah, we're working on it. Our initial ads got blacklisted, so we put up new ones, but the account was shadow banned since it already had a campaign blacklisted, so we're setting up a new account. I have been here specifically with Facebook. Facebook is a big pain in the ass, and sometimes they will ban your account for absolutely nothing. You haven't done anything different. All of a sudden they take your ads down. Then you got to email the support thing, and sometimes it's not even possible to get it back. It's super difficult, and I've had it happen to plenty of friends. So it's not uncommon. I've never personally had that issue with Google and YouTube, but it doesn't surprise me at all that they were blacklisted. It can easily happen. You got to find a way to fix it. So that's frustrating, but I certainly feel their pain. He says, things are about to ramp up. I brought in a new project manager who has years of experience. I spent a couple weeks getting him up to speed in the past couple days. He started working the role and already made major progress with the fiat on-ramp. 100% we are going to have a credit debit option on our site for people to buy drip, animal farm dogs and animal farm pigs. So fiat on-ramp, like we've talked about, will be a nice feature. You'll be able to go directly to the site, put in your debit card, and make your purchase. Up to this point, a lot of people, including myself, have been critical of the marketing team and some of the moves they've made. I hope people realize how difficult the marketing actually is. It's certainly more difficult than people are making it out to be. The one thing I want to stand firm on is once we get this launched, start pounding the marketing, but drive those people to a landing page where they can learn to actually make the purchase. I don't think the landing page as it's set up right now is optimized for conversions, and I think that's what you want to do. Give people some really clear step-by-step videos. And when I was talking to the CMO, he was saying that they didn't want to make it like too salesy, like drive people directly to the sale. I understand that. I still think you'd probably want to dumb down the language then. You'd want to show people how to do it and just keep it kind of vague. Like if it's something that you're interested in investing in, then these are the steps you take to do it. But keep it really educational, Bring people on board so they understand the ecosystem. But what will not happen for most people, especially an older age like mine, I would never see an ad and go click on it and then go into the Telegram group and ask people how to do it. I want to do things by myself. I want to watch the video. I want to jump in. I want to feel comfortable with it. I want to go step by step, just like they're showing me how to do it. I want to purchase it and stake it. I'm not going to go into a chat room to ask people how to do it. And I think there's a lot of people like me. I'm barely comfortable with Telegram. It's an interesting platform to say the least. It's mostly scams. All my DMs are scams. So people are not really going to want to get on that. And I think it's, fairly age group related. In fact, if it wasn't for Drip and Animal Farm and the crypto stuff I do, I definitely would not have Telegram. So I think there's a lot of people like that. No Telegram, no Discord. It's already a stretch for them to get their information from YouTube videos. And if you want to send them updates, you're going to have to send them through email. I think there's a lot of investors that sit in that bucket. So I think you're asking too much to drive people to go to social media and start to do it. Like for me, like I said, I use Telegram, but I'm not really a fan of it. I use Twitter now, but I'm not really a fan of it. I don't use TikTok, but I'm also not a fan of it. So there's a lot of people like in my age range or older that just aren't into that type of communication. So hopefully we can route people through an education flow that will get them to be able to invest using those step-by-step instructions. And then after they're in the ecosystem, if they want more consistent updates, they can start watching more YouTube videos. They can find out whose group they want to join so they feel a little bit more comfortable in the social media platforms and the groups that they're joining. And I think that'll take a little bit of time. So that's my 2 cents on that. A lot of people have been telling me that, or not a lot of people, a small percentage, maybe 3% of people are telling me my videos are too critical. And to those people, I would say you're probably too soft for my channel. I try to give constructive feedback. I feel like that feedback is never very harsh. All I'm doing is relating it to my real world business experience and then sharing my opinion with, my 5,000 followers. And again, I want to appreciate all you guys who have subscribed to the channel, always like my videos and comment. It is super helpful. It truly makes this all worthwhile. So Forex says November 1st. There's now articles and media out there showing that November 1st date. So let's lock it in. If it happens, when it happens, I will be elated. I hope all of you guys are having a wonderful day. Happy investing.